All right, so maybe you could just introduce your character a little bit and why the fans are going to like fall in love with this character and write for him.
Oh, well, all right then. Why are they going to fall in love with it? So I play Axel Miller on Van Helsing. He's a Marine. He's a guy that basically was assigned to go and collect Vanessa right before all the wheels came off and the apocalypse began. And so he managed to get to the facility where she was, and then boom, the apocalypse happens, and I end up being stuck there with her for 3 years trying to keep her alive. And she's been in a coma this whole time. And that's where we find us. That's where we begin our show.
That's dedication.
Yeah. That's why they're going to love this guy, because he's so damn dedicated to keeping her alive, to that mission. Yeah, he's kind of singular in that way. I mean, it is crazy when you put yourself in the mindset of that. They've had to sort of barricade themselves into this hospital. 2.5 years gone by before the last group of Marines decided that they were going to risk trying to make it to the military base or something like 30 miles away. Seemingly impossible. One of them makes it back 6 months later with another group of stragglers, and you know, I let them back in, and that's when some vampires get in with them. She gets bit. She wakes up miraculously, having been in this coma for 3 years, and that's literally in the first 5 minutes of the show. So that's how we get introduced to her, this project, and you know, take it from there, realizing she might be the answer to this epidemic, because the vampire that bites her, that wakes her up, immediately collapses and then regains his humanity. So there's something about her, there's something in her blood that counteracts the vampirism.
How are you able to relate to your character? Are you able to, be able to just build it, to make it in your own?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Neil B was super collaborative in terms of trying to build pieces of the personality and character traits of the guy. But I was talking about it on the panel. I just love the idea of getting to be someone that was going to be. It was just never going to give up, no matter what, and was very self-reliant and capable, in all those kinds of ways. I'd had this adventure with my family where we'd gone off for 2.5 years and lived totally off the grid. We sailed 18,000 miles. We crossed the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, twice. And we had all kinds of insane experiences, living 3 months on a totally deserted atoll, and getting blasted by a huge hurricane that came through there, tearing off our bowsprit, trying to figure out a way to repair it with nothing. It's all this kind of Robinson Crusoe existence, finding like an old washed-up derelict outboard on the outskirts of the coral atoll and pulling the drive shaft out of that thing and using it to rebuild the dolphin striker on the bowsprit, taping it all together. This is like this Mad Max kind of experience. So just having something that you can feel like you brought some of that experience to, having come back to the world, it was. I was just tickled by the idea of being a dude in that circumstance.
Simon had mentioned they kind of created the roles for you and Chris after knowing you and kind of what they wanted for the characters based on who you are. So you think they probably drew on your personal experiences to mold that character a little bit better?
Oh yeah, possibly. I mean, yeah, for sure. I think they do that. I mean, they have this really long ongoing relationship with Chris, and I think Chris Hardwell's one of my favorite actors that I've ever seen, never mind gotten to work with. And the fact that they could take a character who was deaf and mostly mute, almost never speaks, and know that he was going to be able to fill it. And I think he's the most interesting thing on the show. I think it's unbelievable. Every time the camera's on him, you're just begging for them not to cut away. But I think they had that in their back pocket. They're like, yeah, we can totally write the deaf guy. Let's just have Chris do it. It'll be fine.
So what kind of badass stuff do you get to do on the show?
Kill all the vampires. Absolutely get to demolish vampires in every way you could possibly imagine, with every available item or tool.
In a hospital?
Everywhere. We get out of there. We have journeys outside that hospital for sure. Screwdrivers, spoons, broken mop sticks, and machine guns, bombs, booby traps. It's hilarious.
Did you get any kind of martial arts training or anything like that, or fighting skills?
We didn't have enough lead-up time, you know. They were on such a scramble once they got the show greenlit and a very compressed writer's room, and so it was all just go, 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 hit the ground running as soon as we knew we were doing it. So I'd love to say that we had lots of martial arts training. That would have been really cool. But no, we just built those fight scenes as quick as we could. Had an amazing stunt coordinator, amazing stunt team, and yeah, we just built them as best we could.
Kind of like how it would happen anyway.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, my guy's like, you know, he's out of the motor pool. I wasn't playing some Navy SEAL superstar. I was playing, you know, a grunt, basically, who was just had the personality type that he was going to step up when it was needed.
Will you be able to see like your origin story from the series, or?
I'm curious to know that actually. Episode 2 is very much in establishing that we do flashback and get a sense of what's been going on for the last 3 years, and just before the apocalypse, or the rising. But I don't know how much more of that they're going to do. I hope some more, because it's really fun when you get into that.
How do you kill a vampire with a spoon?
You have to destroy its heart. It's a slow process.
It didn't make sense when you said it. I was like, what?
Yeah, just determination. That's all.
All right, thank you.
All right, what do you got?